Thank you for joining. We're going to talk about oxytocin today. It is a natural hormone that our brains release, and it's more commonly known as the love hormone or the love bonding hormone because when babies and their mothers are bonding, this is the hormone that's naturally released. And it's a very important hormone that basically encourages social bonding, and it can make humans feel safe. It's a bond, it's a hormone associated with trust, developing trust. So in all our social contacts, oxytocin plays a really important role in our relationships and how we develop with one another, how we trust one another, how we develop our bonds with one another. So it's a hormone that is associated with social bonding and helps build trust. And it also lowers stress and anxiety. And it can be the love bubble hormone that is very much apparent when we first fall in love. And it really helps to produce these feelings of well-being and safety and trust. So it's a very important hormone in how we build our relationships. So I've entitled this video 5 Ways to Increase Oxytocin During Lockdown, because as we all know, lockdown has produced a society where there's a lot more social isolation, where we're not getting out to have these connections as much as we normally were used to. And I know that many people are feeling that sense of disconnect. You know, it's like it's really an essential hormone in making us feel well-being and that sense of trust and also safety as well. So with current legislations for the lockdown, oxytocin is something that, you know, we could be really feeling a little bit deprived of in some senses, because we're just not getting the same social interactions that we normally would. And one of the most essential things is just human touch, which helps this to secrete this hormone. And that's been wiped out basically. So it's very important that we can find other ways to produce oxytocin naturally that are going to encourage that sense of well-being, that sense of connection, even if it is just within ourselves and, you know, our own environment, but to feel that sense of safety, that sense of you know, just I guess kind of self-sufficiency, but in a way that is healthy and in a way that is very nurturing. So it's very important during this lockdown that we practice more self-nurturing. So one of the ways is, obviously I've put socializing here, but what I mean by that is to socialize and reconnect and connect with people whenever you can. So wherever you can find that connection, whether it's being going outside and taking a walk every day is really good, because you're going to see the birds, you're going to see the trees and the flowers. And what I feel is that it's really important to connect with other life forms, something that's emitting a kind of bioenergetic field, because we are living beings, and when we connect with another human being, we're sort of you know, bonding with that oxytocin, but it takes that connection with another living being. So ways to increase that is obviously to spend a lot of time in nature. And, you know, for people that have pets, it's really good because they're already, you know, having the comfort and the connection with a cat or a dog. But for many people who don't have pets, it's been a very challenging time, I believe. So connection wherever you can, even if it's taking a walk and just smiling and talk, you know, to someone that you pass on the street. This mask wearing that we're all doing as well is cutting down that facial expression where we would smile at someone. Now, my supposition is also that when a baby and a mother are bonding, if you look at any time you see baby and mother bonding, there's a lot of smiles. You know, babies learn to smile very early on, and it's part of how they connect with another human being, which again is important for these social bonds to be established. The sense of safety, the sense of, you know, being protected, being in an environment that's going to build trust. So wherever you can, if you can, you know, time off from your mask. Now, I'm not suggesting, don't take this too literal. Oh, the priority is safety, and don't do anything that I suggest if it doesn't resonate with you. These are just suggestions that I'm making based on, you know, spreading the sense of well-being that we can as much as possible during these times. So if you are socially distancing from someone and you're not wearing a mask, then, you know, by all means smile and engage in that way where possible. Number 2 is daylight and living foods. So smiling and eye contact, yet touch where permissible. So that sense of touch, you know, whether it's giving, you know, hugging a tree, touching a flower, engaging with a dog, an animal. I also think that even being at a beach and connecting with the stones as well, because anywhere that holds an energy, that holds a kind of bioactive energy. And so this is why I'm suggesting living foods here. So things like microgreens or sprouts, or being around plants, or eating raw and living foods, because they have these energy fields that are, you know, part of what we are. We are energy fields as well. So it's that interaction with other energy fields is what I'm kind of suggesting. But also by taking in the vibrancy of raw and living foods, it's going to help with your well-being anyway and your vitality. So that's another suggestion. Number 3, I've got luxurious salt baths. Salt's very grounding as well, and again, I feel that when we connect with another being, when we hug, that's also a way of kind of grounding ourselves. So by taking luxurious salt baths, we're actually grounding ourselves as well. And it's also another way to self-nurture and give yourself like a kind of warm hug by being in the water, maybe using some essential oils like lavender, rosemary, and, you know, anything that's kind of, I actually find I use coconut oil, which is just, the smell of coconut is really amazing, really exotic. So all these things, basically anything that makes you feel comforted or like a self-nurturing activities are going to enhance the feelings of well-being and get the oxytocin running basically in your system. So, and that will spread throughout your whole body and your brain and produce these feelings of euphoria, or, you know, and well-being. But I just want to add a disclaimer on that, and that is that, you know, for those of us that are on spiritual path, consciousness, it's not about seeking things outside of ourselves, you know, to make us feel good. But what I'm just emphasizing is that, or bringing to awareness, is that the social contact thing is important, but it's not that we need, you know, we shouldn't be in a kind of needy place where we have to have it. Otherwise, you know, we're not going to survive. So while social bonding and all that is very important, we can use these practices as a kind of intermittent way to just enhance our overall well-being. So I'm not suggesting it from a place of lack or a place of seeking, you know, stimulation or sensory excitation outside of ourselves. It's always about within, you know, finding our own happiness within first. So even through meditation practices as well is another way that will enhance our well-being and probably produce oxytocin as well. So that was just my disclaimer. So number 4 is speaking on the phone or videoing with friends. So again, I'm just covering some practical tips to enhance well-being and release the hormone oxytocin. So speaking on the phone and video with friends, again, that eye contact, having the eye contact through video rather than just phone is really, really good to do. So please, consider a quick phone call with a friend. If you're going all day alone in the house and just not seeing anyone, I don't think that's really going to be very healthy for anyone at this time. So that's why I'm encouraging these social connections, eye contact, connecting with other living forms, whether it's plants, flowers, rocks, being outside in nature, the ocean, so it's very important. So that's another one, is just like, while we're not connecting with people in the physical, that we're in the digital age, so we can use our phones, we can use video. And what I would suggest is that, I know a lot of people do gaming, and it's just like, we could be in danger of becoming very, very mental and just a brain, and losing our social skills altogether. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in a society where there's just no social interaction as human beings. I think smiles and engaging with people and laughing with people is one of the most beautiful things that we can do in this life. So it's just not becoming too insular with our minds and our brains and getting caught up in technology in such a way that it's just all about the brain. So we do need to kind of ground ourselves back again into the physical, through physical connection, touch, and eating good food and things like that. Number 5, I've got sunbathing, far infrared, ultraviolet lamps. Not ultraviolet lamps, far infrared lamps. Sunbathing, getting out into the sunshine, because, that warmth, again, it's just like connecting with something that's alive, something that's warm, the comfort and the essential vitamin D that's going to be really good for you as well. So vitamin D3 is going to be secreted in your body, as well as the oxytocin from just relaxing in the sun and feeling the warmth on your face, on your skin. I think that infrared is a very important energy, which again we get more of when we hug people. It's the infrared energy that we're connecting as well, in that physical connection. So that's basically my 5 ways to increase oxytocin during lockdown. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll put a link to maybe a transcript of some of this so that you can go and have a look at it again. So I'm just sending you lots of love and light, and a big virtual hug from me to you wherever you are in the world. Take care at this time. Lots of love. Bye.